Hey guys, Glenn and Amber Schwarm coming to you with our latest renovation. This is going to be a rental project, but it's very unique, has a very special story behind it, so stay tuned.
We're going to call this house the I Want to Love Like That house, because this house is actually across the street from our own home, and so these people were neighbors of ours, and they were in their late 90s. They have passed away since, and we bought the house from an estate, but we were just so endeared to them. They were just the sweetest couple ever, the cutest couple ever. They would go dancing, they would go polka dancing, and he would take her out. They would be arm in arm just like this, and he would walk her to the minivan and open the door for her and put her in.
He was a gentleman all the way. It was great to watch him. I used to time my walks out to my mailbox so I could spend time and just even have that 5 or 10 minutes of chatter with him. Something about living well into your 90s and seeing a home that you built with your bare hands, a family that you built from the ground up with grandkids and great-grandkids. We got to meet many of them, almost all of them, at different family functions they had here. They welcomed us in as part of the family, and so to buy a home from someone that you're emotionally tied to is a different experience, and we just appreciate the family trusting us with it. The fact that he built it with his bare hands again was something very important to us, and the core of this house was built by him, and I feel like the entire energy of the home is just love and happiness and all that. So
yeah, we do feel very honored that the family chose us to buy it, and we take that very seriously, and I'm going to try to keep as much of the character of this house as I possibly can. For example, that little white picket fence, he built that for her. Bob built that for Virginia when she was ill one time, because she always wanted a house with a white picket fence, and I just think that was the sweetest, most endearing thing ever. And so we're gonna paint it and fix it up and make it look newer, but I am gonna keep those little touches that I know meant a lot to the family. So we really hope that you enjoy the journey of the I Want to Love Like This house, and I'm gonna take you inside to give you a progress update and see where we're at now. So here we are in the kitchen. Again, we try to save money wherever we can, and I want to keep the character of this house intact. So the cabinets were actually in fantastic shape. They are, they're built Ford tough, guys.
Yeah, they were, yeah.
These older cabinets, they just, these kind of houses, they have what we call good bones, and this house has excellent bones. So we are going to paint them, give them a new fresh coat of paint, and just kind of spruce them up. We are doing a new countertop and a new backsplash. Over here, there was an oversized range, so we're going to put a normal size range in there, but to make things more appealing to a renter, and we want a quality renter, so we are going to put a dishwasher in place. So we did remove one cabinet in order to fit that dishwasher there, and then since there's a basement here, we can run the plumbing right underneath the basement over to the sink. So that works in here. And look how awesome these floors look.
They look great. They came out awesome.
I mean, they obviously need to be grouted and finished, but this was all linoleum before.
Yeah,
so, we're definitely going with kind of that urban country feel in this house. Look at these walls.
Yeah, it came out awesome.
These were knotty pine before. And I have to throw some props out to a fellow designer. Joanna Gaines has made texture popular again. She does it with the shiplap, but we kind of have the same feel of that. I mean, it's not exact, but it's the same feel. It is running vertical instead of horizontal. And they do need another coat of paint to really finish them off and hide those knots underneath that might bleed through. But this looks so much cleaner and bigger. Doesn't it look bigger?
Looks great. Looks great.
Then we'll put a nice dining room light in here to kind of anchor this dining room space. It's just, I'm really, really happy with the progress that we have here. There's beautiful hardwood under here, so we're gonna, when all the work is done, we'll refinish those and they will just gleam. And hardwood's always better in a rental property too, because it lasts longer. You don't have to replace it after every tenant moves out. Hopefully we'll end up having a great long-term tenant. And then here's the living room. Oh wow, this looks great. So this had carpet in it before. It was very clean and everything, but there's hardwood underneath, so we did rip that carpet out. There's the really cool feature.
Yeah, I love the edge, right? I love that edge.
It's super cool.
When he built that, he obviously built that in when Bob built that.
Yeah, and it doesn't just come up to a point. I mean, it actually has a radius to it. It's got like that curved edge, and then it has a little maybe 3/4 inch reveal up there. And we are going to put a new door in that has a light or a window in it so that it lets some light in. Again, we're going to keep that little porch thing they had over the front door. We're going to replace the rotted wood on it. But again, that was something that he built, and we just want to keep as much of the character of the house as we possibly can.
Held up pretty
and look at this, that's probably been here since they built the place. So we'll find something to do with that. We'll put that somewhere too. That's so cool. All right, let's go take a look at the bathroom. So while this house was immaculately maintained, you know, just like anything in life, it does get dated. So we are doing some things to update it. There's pink tile in here. So, and there was also, you know, houses over time, houses at this age, they settle over time. That's a normal thing that happens. So we actually did put, looks like some self-leveling concrete in here because the toilet actually sunken in the floor there. So we're leveling all of this out to make it you know, up to code and make it where everything is level and functional and everything and doesn't cause anybody any problems. We'll put a new vanity in here and new mirrors and light fixtures. The tile was, you know, again, over time things do deteriorate, so the tile was in a little bit of a rough shape, so we put this nice surround in. Normally with our flip houses we do a tile surround, but again, since this is a rental property, this is probably easier to maintain long term is to do these fiberglass surrounds. So that's what we did in here. So here we are upstairs, and while this upstairs isn't a perfect design and, you know, in a perfect world, you do have to walk through one bedroom to get to the other bedroom, which isn't ideal, but you know, in some houses it just is what it is.
Wow, this is a lot brighter up here.
Right?
This is great, yeah.
So this was all knotty pine, just like it was downstairs. And sometimes people fight me on painting the wood in a house, but it dates it. And you know, anymore I just kind of do what I think is right in the house, and I don't worry too much about what other people are gonna say. I did walk up here, and sometimes I have like an afterthought or an idea. I did walk up here, and there's this little cutout right here. I think this would be like a perfect spot for that chalkboard paint.
And now we're in the basement. And as you can see, this basement has a dance floor. Not something you would usually see in a basement, but as the story goes from the family that we knew well, they had dance parties down here a lot over the years. The before of this, there were mirrors down here, and there was a hi-fi system down here that we saw with the cassette. There were some records, I believe, down here as well. So they had a lot of fun. You could see all the different dance tracks they had. They were all listed on the cassette tapes, and I love seeing that. You could just tell there were a ton of memories in this home, and that's one thing that when we bought it, you know, because of all the land with this house, somebody could have torn the house down and made this into a roadway, and we did not want to see that happen. That was really important that we kept this intact and kept these memories alive, right?
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and walk outside and check out the backyard. So one of the great things is that this property came with, I believe it's about 9 acres of land. Pretty much as far as you can see, we're walking over a bridge right now. Beautiful creek right here. There's lots of creeks and bridges. There's trails all through here. It goes all the way over to some forever wild land. And that was an exciting part of this house. You know, we could have, I know people would have wanted to buy this much land and actually build on it because there's actually road access at the end of the road. We didn't want to. We wanted to keep this forever wild. We wanted to keep this, I think, the way the original owner probably intended, to be quiet over here. It's a cul-de-sac. Wanted to keep it that way, so we're going to keep this to ourselves, and let's just be a piece of property we own over here. Pretty cool.
Anybody that knows me knows that I can be a bit of a tree hugger. So I don't like taking down trees, but there does come a point where they can start to be kind of dangerous and hazardous. So these were 3 humongous pine trees, and you know, every single snowstorm we had or windstorm, branches would fall and they were getting really brittle. So it was to the point where they needed to be taken down, and boy, doing that sure just let a whole lot of light just flood in the house. So overall, it was a good move, and hopefully we can plant some other stuff that'll make up for the environmental impact of removing those. So let's go continue on the journey. We're standing here under this double bench that Bob built by hand, and these are kind of little things that we're gonna keep until they are ready to fall down, because they're just touches that make this house special to us, and hopefully special to the new family that's gonna live here too. I know Bob and Virginia would be very excited and very happy for the new family that's gonna come and live here and call this home. But you know, if you've enjoyed the tour of, you know, the I Want to Love Like That house, I hope that you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can stay tuned to all the updates. Make sure you like our Facebook page, and please comment below if you have any questions. We'll answer those personally ourselves, and we hope to see you next time.
We'll see you soon.